remain stagnant in addressing corruption. PM officiates for Jiwaka Capital. And Kalang FM launched in Wewak.
This is National EMTV News with Shamaine Poriambep.
Good evening. This is Saturday's news. PNG is among countries that have remained stagnant in addressing corruption. That's according to the Corruption Perception Index Report 2020 released by Transparency International this week.
The 2020 edition of the Corruption Perception Index ranks 180 countries and territories by their perceived levels of public sector corruption, drawing on 13 expert assessments and surveys of business executives. It uses a scale of 0, highly corrupt, to 100, very clean. Papua New Guinea is among the 180 countries Transparency International assesses. PNG has scored 27 out of 100 in this recent assessment. PNG joins nearly half of the countries that have been stagnant on the index for almost a decade, indicating stalled government efforts to tackle the root causes of corruption. Chairman of Transparency International PNG, Peter Aitsi, however, acknowledged this government's step in fighting corruption with the passing of the ICAC bill. Prime Minister James Marape said he remains committed in ensuring loopholes within the public sector that might give rise to corruption is blocked.
And the statement, there was commitment made for us to deliver ICAC, Whistleblowers Act, and all supporting legislations and public policies and statutes that goes to ensuring fighting corruption is taking place on all fronts in our country.
The 2020 Corruption Perception Index was linked to COVID-19 and how countries coped with the crisis. The Transparency International, from its annual report released, found that persistent corruption is undermining healthcare systems and contributing to democratic backsliding amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It says countries that performed well on the index invest more in healthcare, are better able to provide universal health coverage, and are less likely to violate democratic norms and institutions or the rule of law. Corruption poses a critical threat to citizens' lives and livelihoods, especially when combined with a public health emergency. Clean public sectors correlate with great investment in health care. The corruption watchdog also highlighted some recommendations to reduce corruption and better respond to future crises. The 4 recommendations are: strengthen oversight institutions to ensure resources reach those most in need, ensure open and transparent contracting to combat wrongdoing, identify conflicts of interest and ensure fair pricing, defend democracy and promote civic space to create enabling conditions to hold governments accountable, and public relevant data and guarantee access to information to ensure the public receives easy, accessible, timely and meaningful information.
Prime Minister James Marape officially launched the 220 million Kinah Jiwaka Provincial Headquarter project yesterday. The township will be built at Kurumul, a central location along the Highlands Highway. A delegation of state ministers, head of departments, MPs and the Indian High Commissioner accompanied the Prime Minister to Jiwaka for the event.
It was a need for this 9-year-old Jiwaka province to have its own town in a central location that will serve the entire province. 20 million Kinah has already been given to the contractor as a company to start the construction of the township, roads, government offices and services. Prime Minister James Marape at the officiating ceremony told the contractor to complete the township within 5 years to be officially opened in 2025 as PNG celebrates its 50 years of independence.
Power Iran, all different blocks, over 1,000 titles established by your office comes in on public 7 house staff. Then Pamela Trim lo make him isla Jiwaka provincial headquarters he get up past them and as him get up you can sit down good, long house good, make him decent Jiwaka province good.
Jiwaka Governor Dr. William Tongam was emotional seeing the dreams of his people and the Jiwaka Transitional Committee come through. Apart from Hela, Jiwaka did not have any internal revenue after the Wagi Mac coffee plantations were run down and did not have office buildings or a public hospital with few government services running.
Hela got case, now got power to go to negotiation table. Lo drive in Magenta lo Hela lo Kama province. Imi two in a nongot. Imi got all resource lo imi. Coffee in agriculture na tea stuff. But lo this time imi no got bargaining power. So imi like talk tangle all leaders lo Hela. Lo this time all no drop him imi. All pull him imi one time lo Kama province which imi but celebrate him today in the midst of tangle Prime Minister.
Marape urged the Jiwaka provincial government to start have internal revenues, and for the people, he told them to be involved in agriculture, especially coffee, as the government has subsidized the agriculture commodity with 200 million Kinah. This means that there will be a double in price of dried coffee beans from 3 Kinah per gram to 6 Kinah.
All the way to Hagen, and we come up one plus special economic zone, long me make him investment long agriculture, investment of tourism, investment of education, investment of housing, all kinds of something can come up inside the year.
The Prime Minister also announced that Domil Vocational School will be upgraded to Jiwaka Technical College so that all provinces in the country can have their own technical schools. Students who cannot make it into the education system are encouraged to apply to vocational and technical schools to get a second chance in education and also be involved in SME.
Vocational school gives him second chance education. Now maybe I'll link him, you blogger, go inside, long try best, long SME or make him some legally something, less.
As part of the town development program, those living along the main Highlands highway in Jiwaka province are urged to register their land and acquire loans from NDB to start SME projects.
Government can look at this law. Now 1 Kinah, maybe put him in bank, help him, Papua New Guinea, give him money, make him legally business. You can go see 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. This law can come up secretively.
Vasinata Yama, National MTV News, Mount Hagen.
The East Sepik Provincial Government has partnered with Kalang Advertising Limited to launch the FM 100 signal in the province. The signal provides a platform for news and information to be disseminated in the province. It also provides an opportunity for people to participate in development of the province.
The FM 100 signal in Wewak was officially launched by East Sepik Governor Alan Baird recently. With this launching, people can now listen to FM 100 in some parts of the province through radio frequency 100.3 FM. This provides a platform for the people to be informed and participate in the development of the province.
We are a government that is built on the principles of transparency, accountability, and as a result, I think we are able to save money from unnecessary expenditure, which we can then channel, and it allows us to be able to support organizations like yourself.
Nation of information awareness play a critical role in keeping the people of East Sepik and the world informed. Major stories, headlines and discussions that will engage the East Sepik people to participate now. This is what this platform actually activates.
Kalang Advertising Limited, or FM 100, is a commercial radio station with audience globally. However, its signal in East Sepik province stopped when their transmitter at Mount Turu was decommissioned over 6 years ago. With the installation of their signal in Wewak, people can now listen to FM 100 through their radio, online live streaming, or through the FM 100 app, which can be downloaded on Google Play Store. And the East Sepik provincial government is pleased to work with FM 100 as a media partner.
Since FM 100 went off the air, and we support them in order to disseminate information. FM 100 is obviously a national platform, and we are very pleased that we're finally able to get it here.
It's a breakthrough for us. When our transmitter up at Mount Turu was decommissioned, unfortunately, we went missing for about 6 years. from East Sepik Province. And it's through this initiative that we are happy and proud to bring this service back to interact, engage with the people of East Sepik Province to talk about development issues, the infrastructure challenges.
The FM 100 acting CEO says this partnership is mutual as they share the visions of East Sepik Provincial Government. And with the signal now established in Wewak district, there are plans to establish their signal in other parts of the province.
As this is only a start, this should not be my last time to also launch this, to come back and launch the FM 100 signal to cover the major part of East Sepik Province, the Great Sepik Plain. I urge the SMEs, NGOs, the provincial government, business houses, corporates, the schools, hotels to harness on this platform as information is power.
Rayon Lakingu, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. More stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. The construction of a judge's house, a new court complex and police barracks in Mendi is soon to be open and occupied. Southern Highlands Governor William Powie says these infrastructures proves the commitment to enable the arm of law and justice system in the province. The new buildings were visited recently.
Over the past 6 years, law and order in Southern Highlands has spiraled out of hand. Tribal killings, civil unrest, among other crimes have soared. With the Provincial Executive Council embarking to put things in order, over 2 million Kinah has been put to use to build housing for police. This has seen nearly 19 houses being built.
And under officiates tax credit arrangements, we also have police housing in Nipa as well. So I'm going to ask the national government through the Prime Minister and Police Minister to bring in more policemen into Southern Highlands, because I think the police housing is there. Southern Highlands Provincial Government have given them almost up to 10 cars. So we're providing them with logistics and housing. So it's up to national government to deal with Southern Highlands, Hela, Hagen, and some of these provinces that have high prevalence of law and order.
Among other structures is the new courthouse complex. This project is progressing to replace the old courthouse burnt after the 2017 national elections. The provincial administrator says the new courthouse will address the piling court cases and remandees held in custody.
If the courthouse is completed, the judges are working, the court hearings are going on, then the cases will move fast, then we'll keep more arrests, then it's going to go freely and law and order will be strengthened. Yes. So that's.
Meanwhile, the provincial police commander says Southern Highlands needs more policemen. He hopes the police department will assign more manpower to the province.
But these are new ones, and they need immediate occupancy, but we're lacking manpower. We're looking at extra manpower from police headquarters or Bomana to come and take immediate occupancy of all these 19 buildings here, 19 houses.
In addition to investments in the law and justice sector is the construction of a resident judge house, a first of its kind in the province. Governor William Powie says authorities will liaise with the judicial system for a judge to engage in Mendi following the completion of the new courthouse.
We paid almost 3 million to date to the contractor. They're doing fantastic work, a lot of progress, significant progress. 2021 will put another 3 million to complete this courthouse complex.
Jack Lopawa Jr., National MTV News.
Women representative of Raku village in the Southern Highlands province said many women during labor whilst taking refuge in a remote village in fear of their lives. This follows a battle between two warring tribes of Kagua-Erave district since 2013 that was related to illicit drugs and alcohol. A peace ceremony was conducted last week between the two tribes with the support of the local leaders.
Daisy Jamie is one of the women who gave birth while in hiding following an ethnic clash between two tribes of Sugu Valley in the Southern Highlands province. Daisy and other women from Kambia in the Kagua-Erave district said peace restoration was their only hope over the past 8 years. The fight between the two tribes prevented the people from accessing health services and the children from getting an education.
and bomb kisimibla. Inokdan, Inasubia. Now, a bomb kisimibla, Papunokini, also put in Tamulo bomb now. One may become Minakilia.
The fight began in 2013 following a heated argument between young men from Kambia and Wambia over illicit alcohol homebrew. The fight escalated that forced Daisy and a tribesman of Kambia to flee from the village and take refuge in another remote community.
Every past fruit, you become sowing the cocoa market.
With continuous consultation between the tribe leaders and the local leaders over the years, a peace ceremony was held at the Kaugwa police station where a peace agreement was signed by the two parties. The signing was witnessed by Senior Magistrate Marcus Nandape, the police and leaders including lay businessman Maino Pano, also known as Maita Yawi, who negotiated for peace restoration.
And fight in Sakamanatin. And fight all this place Mameri by Chinkarlowe. This place Mameri by Sim Catreslowe. And Morgan for Bushnabi will come Morgan stolen Amelo, this lab. Blue Gorsa, Plandiol, Savman, Plandiol, politics man who in Chet Labna. Buy more Catras and give him a line or some imito Mobile Humila die. Now, I'm a question of Campbell Yumiol, businessman, Simon in Chetlo, country blue Yumi in Chetlo, Kograbe, Satanalians, Miabulo Yumi, Mas Yumino Soboti fight. Fight by Yumino Vanimola, by Hobin Box Tassel.
The two tribes reunited and will resettle back to their respective villages. Julie Badui, Owa, National EMTV News.
The killing of a man 2 weeks ago at Tagali LLG in Hela province has resulted in a number of killings this week, with gunmen of warring clans raiding homes and property. Women and children have been displaced and seeking shelter at church buildings and school classrooms in Tari town. Locals say the number of people seeking shelter is increasing.
After exchange of gunfire between warring groups and raiding of homes at Mulupi village in Tagali LLG earlier this week that resulted in several killings and some critically wounded, these women and children are taking refuge in an early childhood learning center at Hoyabia, which was established by UN Women. Families have fled their homes to find shelter elsewhere in fear of their lives. This woman lost her husband in a tribal fight between Toria and Erepe clans of Tebi LLG in 2019. She had to hide herself in a creek when she heard of armed gunmen ransacking homes in Mulipi. She was worried of her children who were not at home at the time and says she was praying whilst in hiding. One of her sons, Handa, tells of how the gunmen attempted shooting at him as he fled and hid. His other two friends, however, reacted late, resulting in one being killed instantly and another wounded and admitted at Tari Hospital. The widow, although being shattered by the experience, is at least at peace to reunite with her two sons. They join many others who have been displaced to take refuge in places allocated by peace and mediation workers in the area, as well as support from churches and social support institutions. Among the several people killed or severely wounded, a 16-year-old girl was held up and raped repeatedly by many and eventually murdered. She was going to be in grade 7 this year. The deceased's mother was also attacked and very critically wounded, now fighting for her life at Tari Hospital. Hela Governor Philip Undialu went to Hoyabia to address the displaced people, promising to organize security to control the situation. The affected people said they do not want the fight to spread to other parts of the province, particularly Tebi LLG, where big protests were held last year to put a stop to fighting in the area, and also petitioned the government to take necessary action to enable peace in the concerned communities. Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
A 6-week internship program between the University of PNG School of Business and Public Policy concluded with a ceremony yesterday. This internship program saw 6 UPNG students engage with the Police Department Human Resource Section. The head of department at UPNG says the course is structured for students to get a feel of different organizations. A small ceremony was held yesterday acknowledging the partnership program.
They go do the to various organizations and do the work experience, especially in the HR department, to acquire their skills and knowledge. So when they come back in the final year of their studies, they write a report and they submit to the school, and we assess them. And then they are graded based on their report and other assessment like presentation and of course the supervisor's assessment.
Eagle Personal Viability Business Scheme magazine was launched yesterday at the Sioni Kami United Church. Eagle PV Business Scheme is 100% nationally owned and is aimed at creating a healthy and wealthy society through economic independence.
Human Development Institute's partnership with Eagle PV Business Scheme has launched their first magazine, which contains stories of ordinary unemployed women who have become employers and job creators with the help of the Eagle PV Business Scheme.
And the main cause of poverty in this country, and maybe plenty of another country too, is called dependency. You mean hang up on another all the time. Also, you mean no money. Also, you need to run boy. People know on the Sunday. You mean for sing out. Instead of being a donor country, we want to be a recipient country.
This initiative will help many people break free from dependency. HDI founder Samuel Tem during the launching ceremony talked about being independent.
Human capital is the best business capital. Any winning financial capital, any winning all of our kind resource, the human resource, but you have to be developed into human capital. That is the best way to escape from the prison of dependency, through being self-reliant and financially independent.
The Eagle PV Business Scheme was fully established in 2019 and signed a contract with HDI in 2020. And Rivuya, a representative from Eagle, highlighted few of their success stories.
Eagle team using its own funds and initiatives, which has successfully graduated 75 practices, Papua New Guineans, in different levels of HDI level 3, 1 to 3, with a 100% success track record since 2019 to 2020, last year. The amazing success the Eagle PV Business Scheme Limited is attributed to its business support system, including organization of business opportunities, distribution network, and priceless teamwork.
A great initiative by HDMI and Eagle with supporting partners to create a better PNG. Esther Thalam, National MTV News.
Trukai Sports is next. Details after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. SPPNG Hunters coach Matthew Church says he will be helping the players to acclimatise with living in the Gold Coast in Queensland. That's where the Hunters team will be relocating to as their new home. The coach from Queensland says his family and friends are also willing to support the team in any way possible during their stay in the Gold Coast.
It will be a new environment for the SPPNG Hunters when they move to their new home in Runaway Bay in the Gold Coast of Queensland, Australia. But for the team, they have an advantage. With coach Matthew Church from Brisbane in Australia, he will be their personal tour guide at the Gold Coast. Church, who grew up in Queensland, says he will be close to family and friends. but says his main focus will be training the boys and also helping them to climatize to their new lifestyle outside of Papua New Guinea.
Having grown up in Queensland and spent most of my life in Queensland, I know what opportunity is there, so I'm excited to expose the boys around that. That doesn't mean I just get to go there and then leave them and head home. Obviously I will be closer to family, but I'm mindful that they're all away from their family, so that's something that I need to manage and make sure that I'm not just, dumping them there. So I'll spend a lot of time with them in camp, getting them acclimatised to Australian life and getting them to understanding of, where they can go on the Gold Coast and some local attractions and shopping and, all those little necessities that they're going to need. They all know where to go when they're in POM. Getting them to understand where they are at Runaway Bay and what that looks like and where they can go or what they want to do during their downtime.
Having a coach from Australia has other perks as well. Church says he will be helping to mobilize the Queensland PNG community to help the team settle in Australia, but says his close friends and family as well are eager to help Church and the Hunters team whichever way they can.
Yeah, they're already Hunter supporters by virtue of being related to me. So I've had a number of conversations with family members who, full on support me being here as in PNG, and the landscape's obviously going to change because of COVID, but they're already formulating ways of how they can help out around the Hunters program and volunteer their time to come down, and whether that's driving the boys around, some of the boys probably are not going to be able to drive down there. They might have a PNG licence, but it might not allow them to do that in Australia. So how do we do that and how do we get them around? So the family are jumping on board and offering to help on game days and sell merchandise or tickets at the gate or whatever that looks like. So
Chet says he has his family to thank for their support while he is based in Papua New Guinea, and also the players of the SPPNG Hunters for their family support, who have allowed them to travel and live in Australia to play in the Intra Super Cup this season.
I would like to thank my family actually, because they're the ones that make the biggest sacrifice. I'm away doing what I love doing and coaching and hopefully improving the boys and improving the game in PNG. But you sacrifice the time of your loved ones, and if I point back to what the boys are going to do, it's the same with them, with their families while they leave PNG. So they're the ones that we have to thank, because we're doing what we love and what we enjoy, and they sacrifice it.
Freely Sukina, Trukai Sports.
New Island Province has been selected to pilot the PNG RFL governance framework to kickstart the New Island model. A New Island Rugby Football League board was officially sworn in. Present was PNG RFL Sandy Saka, CEO for PNG RFL Stanley Hondina, Provincial Administrator Lamila Pawut, and Governor Sir Julius Chan. Directors include Benjamin Wakip, Byron Chan, Sikal Kelep, Ruby Kerepa, John Keleu, and Les Kapin. Basically, the board will govern rugby league in the province in line with PNG RFL's decentralized governance structures. The PNG RFL plans to replicate the model in other provinces in the coming months. The SPPNG Hunters coach Matthew Church has passed his condolences to the family of late Douglas Guys, former rugby union representative and coach of the Sevens national team, who passed on earlier this month. Matthew Church has never met Douglas Guys before, but he is related to the Hunters trainer Moses Guys.
Just touching on Douglas Guys, I didn't get the chance to meet him. I can see from all the tributes that have flowed over social media and in the media in PNG, he was much loved, and from guys that I've known that I've coached who've worked underneath him, he sounds like my kind of person and someone that I would have liked to have learnt coaching game off as well. So we pass on our condolences on to the Guys family. We obviously have Moses in with us, and we've been trying to support him around, being around his family and just covering his role while they're going through that process.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report coming up next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports. This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, Port Moresby, Daru and Kerema, cloudy with rain, showers and drizzles. Alotau, cloudy with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Popondetta, rain showers and drizzles, east to cloudy periods. In the Momase region, Lay, chances of a few showers and cloudy. Medang, chances of rain showers and drizzles, mostly cloudy with chances of thundery showers in Wewak and rain showers and cloudy periods in Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, a few showers and partly cloudy. Kokopo, Rabaul, Buka and Kavieng, partly cloudy with evening showers. Kimbe, rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And finally, in the Highlands region, all centres will expect rain showers, drizzles and cloudy.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for Saturday, the 30th of January 2021. Pleasant viewing, be safe. Bye for now.